Most men over 40 are not broke because they lack money. They're broke because they stuck in those same habits as they did when they were 25 years old. You know, like spending more money they have, living above their means, trying to impress people, care about what people think about them. When you're actually 40 years old, you stop even thinking about that. I know for myself, I don't even care what people think. I don't care about labels. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't care about what car I drive. As long as it get me to work and back and everything I need to get to, I don't care anymore. Back in the day, it was all about flash. But when you turn 40 years old, none of that stuff matters. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the 7 upper class habits that increases men's wealth, their power, and their peace, and separate them from the men that are stuck, stressed, and broke. Pay attention to the video, like and comment. Let's get to the video. Here's the number 1 habit that if you're over 40, you must adopt now. First, you got to stop chasing income and start owning some assets. I'm talking about stocks, real estate, small businesses, anything that's going to make you income while you're sleeping. See, the problem is most men over 40 are still trapped in that paycheck mindset. You still thinking to yourself, like, if I only can make more money, I'll be good. But the more money you're making, the more money you keep spending. So just because you make more money, you won't be good. In actuality, that's actually the wrong mindset to have. See, upperclassmen understand something critical. Income can disappear. Assets don't, especially if they're built right. So you got to shift your focus. You got to shift your focus to some stocks. And if you look at this channel, I've given you tons of stocks. If you don't understand individual stocks, you can buy ETF or index funds. I've given you those as well. Check out the videos and you can understand what I'm talking about. You got to buy some real estate. And obviously, I understand housing prices are ridiculous right now. Interest rates are high. But if you get a chance to get some real estate, and that's the same thing I'm going to try to do, is get some real estate, you should do so. Small businesses that make you money and any type of other cash flowing investments. See, while the average men are working for money, most upperclassmen have money working for them. So if you get anything out this number 1 habit, the key line, the key focus should be, if your income stops and your life collapses, you're not wealthy, you're just dependent. The number 2 habit that men over 40 must adopt now is they must become ruthless with their time. See, at 20, wasting time is normal, but at 40, it's dangerous. You can't be wasting time on people that don't deserve your time. See, upperclassmen, they understand. They don't waste time. They don't scroll endlessly. Most people online, they keep scrolling and looking at Facebook and TikTok. You're just scrolling for nothing. Upperclassmen, they don't entertain distractions. Why are you being distracted by politics and war and all that stuff? Don't even worry about all that news and Fox and CNN and MSNBC. That's a waste of time. See, upperclassmen, they don't say yes to everything. You got to learn how to say no. Saying yes can waste your time, especially for people that don't deserve your time. See, upperclassmen, most men that are over 40 that are doing their thing, they protect their time like it's life or death, because it is. You only got about 20 or 30 more summers left. See, upperclassmen, they make sure that they delegate what doesn't matter. Meaning, like, they delegate those tasks. They're not going to waste their task. They're not going to waste their time with tasks that doesn't make sense. They only focus on high return activities. And guess what? They build structured routines. So men over 40, you should have a routine. The key line from this one, from number 2, the number 2 habit, is make sure that you think to yourself, every yes you give to nonsense is a no to your future. The number 3 habit that men over 40 must adopt now is they should build strategic circles, not social ones. See, most men keep the same circle out of comfort. Upperclassmen evolve to their cycle out of necessity. That means you must just surround yourself with people that are positive. Those same friends that are negative, they're not doing things for themselves, that are bringing you down, you can't hang around them. You got to hang around people that's in the same circle that you are, that are making moves. See, men that are upper class, they surround themselves with people who challenge them. People who are ahead of them. People who can hold them accountable. People they can learn from. This isn't about being fake. It's not about trying to be real or not. It's about being intentional. So the key line from the number 3 habit that you must pay attention to is, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your circle. The number 4 habit that men over 40 must adopt now is they must master quiet money discipline. See, you won't always recognize that upperclassman by what he wears. See, men that have money, they're not wearing brands. They're not trying to be flashy. But you will recognize them by how he moves with his money. If his car is paid off, his house is paid off, he owns stocks. That's how you're going to know quiet money discipline. See, they're not loud spending. They're not buying emotional purchases. And they're not thinking about to impress anybody. There's no need to impress. Instead, it's all about consistency investing. That's something I preach on my channel a lot, is to be consistent and disciplined. You got to calculate your risk, and you have to think long term. Stop thinking short term. Just because a stock is down right now, or people telling you don't buy this stock, or you see war going on. No, you got to think long term. If you buy a stock today, a good quality stock, it's going to be up in 5 to 10 years. It'll be a lot more than it is today. And you can witness that by what happened during COVID. When COVID happened, stocks went down like 25 to 50%. Those SPY ETFs went down 50%. Guess what? They're up over 100-something% since COVID. So trust me, stocks go up over long term. So start thinking long term instead of short term. While others are trying to look rich, upperclassmen are building real wealth behind the scenes. So the key line from number 4 habit is looking rich attracts attention. Being rich attracts freedom. Number 5 habit that most men over 40 should adopt right now is they got to treat health like an investment, not an afterthought. Go get those checkups. See, by 40, it really hits you. You start understanding that you need to go to the doctor all the time. Your energy is dropping. Recovery is slowing. Health issues start to show up. See, upperclassmen, they don't ignore this. They attack it. They go to their appointments. They get their medicine. They get their checkups. They go to the gym. They eat right. They lift weights. They prioritize sleep. They eat with attention. They stay on top of their health metrics because they understand your body is the engine behind everything you're trying to build. See, if you're 40 and you're healthy in your 50s and your 60s, by the time you can retire, you will be able to do things like most retirees can do physically. You don't want to be old with all this money and not being healthy, can't do anything. So the key line you should take from number 4 habit is you can't build a powerful life with a weak body. The number 6 habit that men over 40 should adopt right now is that they must think in decades, not paycheck. See, the average man, he's thinking, what can I do this month? But most upperclassmen are thinking about what will the decision look like in 10 to 20 years. So the decisions you make right now, that car you bought right now, is it going to benefit you in the 10 to 20 years from now? Probably not. So you must think long term and think in decades, not your paycheck. See, upperclassmen, they're thinking investing long term. They building legacy systems and they're planning for generational impact. I keep telling you that generational wealth is something that you must build right now. You want to break that cycle. They're not chasing quick wins, but upperclassmen are building something that lasts. The key line from the number 6 habit that most men should adopt right now is short-term thinking creates survival. Long-term thinking creates legacy. Number 7 habit that men over 40 should adopt right now is they refine their presence and standard. By 40 is how you present yourself that matters more than ever. See, upperclassmen, they speak clearly and directly. They dress with intention. They carry themselves with calm confidence. Now, I'm not naive, and I myself wear what I want to wear to feel comfortable with. I grew up in the 90s, so yeah, I dress the way I did in the 90s sometimes. But I also dress with intention. When I'm speaking clearly, I'm trying to make sure that people understand what I'm saying, and I carry myself with a certain confidence that people won't mistake me from being weak or anything like that. When they look at me, they know I'm strong. They know I'm about my business. You know, most upperclassmen, they don't need to be loud to be respected. And that's the same thing for myself. I'm respected by the way I carry myself. My presence speaks before I do. So the key line to take from this number 7 habit is your presence introduce you before you say a word. Remember that.